Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Aero League Racing Formula One. Man, it feels good to say that. It has been a minute since we've had Formula One up and running in ALR, but fortunately, the stars aligned and EA have given us a halfway decent game for once. And yeah, for that reason, we are finally back and good to go. So, yeah. Hopefully, once we get some of these drivers in, we'll be able to get started very soon. Yeah, I mean, dude, every race that we hold in Aero League Racing, it's going to be broadcasted live to our audiences, everybody who wants to tune in, which for F1, the viewership is always pretty decent. So that can either be a good thing or a bad thing, very much dependent on how you perform. So we almost have the lobby starting. Um, just give me 1 second to get a couple of things sorted, and hopefully we should be getting underway very soon. So I think we're just waiting on a couple more drivers. Hopefully it won't be very long. Won't keep you guys waiting too long. But yeah, I mean, it's been a minute since we've ran F1 in ALR. For me personally, it's always been the main attraction of ALR, and obviously, once upon a time, it used to be the only league that we used to run before. There's an argument to be made that GT is our main league now. Me personally, uh, I'm not a fan of that. Despite the fact that we probably have quadruple the amount of drivers in GT that we do in F1, F1 will always be the main ALR league in my heart. So, yeah. I guess we'll wait for a couple more minutes. And if we are unable to get the drivers in, then unfortunately we're just going to have to start with the numbers that we have. All right, so I think we are ready to go. I'll just send out the ping to ready up, and we should be getting underway very soon. Be ready up. Okay. Right, so been a year since I've driven this game, even longer since I've done comms, so hopefully if I'm a little bit rusty, you guys won't judge me too much. Yeah, I mean, I might stumble over my words or something, but ah, they'll be fine. Right, so normally before we start our game cycle, we always keep some eval races, social races, a bunch of little events that we keep for all of the drivers. Mainly just to familiarize themselves with our rules and also to familiarize themselves with each other. So drivers get to know each other, get to figure out the standard of racing that's acceptable and what's not acceptable in Aero League racing. We don't tend to abide by very strict rules in terms of like how overtakes are meant to be done, but we do expect drivers to be clean, even if it is a social race, and there are no stewards involved, there's no reports involved, no penalties, nothing like that. Still, we do look at these races as a kind of way to judge the character of a driver, to see what kind of tendencies he has. If he's a bit overly aggressive, then we obviously don't punish them for it, but we just speak to them a little bit and tell them, hey, there's a certain standard of racing that we find acceptable. As I'm getting the worst possible camera angle for this. Right, so we'll take a look at the driver who is first, which appears to be Swen at the moment. Holy Jesus. Okay, we'll just stay on board with Font in the Ferrari as he goes through the sweeping right-hander. You normally want to stay tight to the right over there, but Font obviously adopting his own approach. Seems to be working out for him. He's doing all right himself in P5. So he heads now to this very tricky downhill left-hander. You don't want to go too wide on the outside curb, otherwise you will invalidate your lap. Now one of the trickiest sections of this track. Uphill, very loose rear end, seems to have negotiated that just about right. It's now through the sweeping right-hander, DRS open. So he heads towards the hairpin, up to P3 now, Font. P2 as he goes on the brakes, him and Dark Kiki kind of fighting it out for that front row spot. As now Dark takes the lead in this one-shot qualifying. Swen all the way at the back. A bit of a shock to me, if I'm being honest. Expected a bit more pace from Swen, but maybe he just had a bit of a mess up on his lap as Font rounds the final corner and heads towards the line, and he does snag pole by just shy of half of a tenth from Dark Kiki. Meliv comes in third. Wow. So Font stealing away pole at his home Grand Prix, may I add. Spanish driver, Spanish track, and he's pulled off getting pole position over here at his home track. I'm sure that's going to make him pretty happy. He's done a 13.8. We can see Dark just half a tenth shy. Meliv down 2/10, Mopsy Flopsy 3/10, as then we have, wow, quite a big a gap. Swen disqualified Mike. Obviously, I mean, like, I love you, Mike, but damn, buddy. Expect a little bit better from you. 6.7 seconds off of the lead. I mean, regardless, I hope they give us a very entertaining race. I know Mike's always up to something. Let's pray that he's able to cook in this race as well. It's a 25% race, which means there are, I believe, 18 laps around Spain. After which we will do another one-shot qualifying session, and we will run another 25% race. Yeah, Mike T1 fumble, bro. Thanks for the good luck message. Hopefully people watch back on the stream and they're able to see that, as now we're just about to get underway for the first laps of ALR racing in 2025. Or I think we have formation lap on. Yeah, so it's going to be a formation lap. We'll get to talk for about 1:30 where we can discuss some of these strategies, and I can fix my settings a little bit. Yeah, so almost everybody's starting on the softs other than Black Charizard and Swen the Men, both of whom have opted for the mediums. Right, so yeah, Font starting pole on the soft tires. I wonder how long he can take those soft tires, because on this game I've heard the dirty air And tire wear is a lot more important than just outright pace. Managing your tires, very critical, especially at a track like this with a lot of medium speed corners. It'll be interesting to see what kind of effect that has on these soft compound tires, how long they're able to take them in the race. If I were to predict, I'd say around like maybe lap 7 or 8, they'd want to come in, try and swap on to the mediums. Get a nice like undercut, especially with the dirty air. It's very important to get a nice undercut on this game. Or so I've heard. I don't know, I'm washed. I wouldn't know. Everybody's weaving like crazy. So we had 2 people take themselves out as Mike is taking a trip through the gravel. I'm not sure what he's up to there, but yeah, Swen has passed him on the formation lap. Yeah, rear end just stepping out a little bit on Swen. As we'll stick with Font as he leads everybody through the final corner, and he has 2 of his friends waiting for him right up there. Coming to a bit of their own on the formation lap. Font now slows the car down and he misses his grid slot. Very nice. Dark Kiki gets it right. Meliv also gets it right. Yeah, faith in Mopsy, he'll get it. Right, so ALR F1 in 2025. It has been a year. We have 3, 4, 5 red lights. It's lights out and away we go, and Font stays in the lead from Dark Kiki, but Dark Kiki has got a better start than him. He's already going to be challenging us. No, he tucks back into the slipstream as we have a lot of contact further back. It looks like the McLarens and the front wing of somebody flying off in the back, but so far it is Font who manages to stay in the lead from Dark. Mopsy Flopsy in 3rd position, Meliv stays in 4th, everybody keeping it a bit neat in that top 5, as now we have Swen already up from last, looking for a move down the inside of Black Charizard, and he's gonna get his Charizard spins, and makes a bit of contact with the Mercedes of Fancy, as now we have NTO going down the inside of Mike. Mike leaves him the room, gets it the position from Mike, as now the other McLaren is going to be challenging him. Please don't break your front wing on that car of Mike, the moving chicane. Hopefully Mike will not put up too much of an aggressive fight on him. So we'll take another look up the front as we have the Aston Martin and the V-car battling it out. The Aston Martin getting a bit squirrely there, as it looks like Swen is able to take the position from him. But we have the very long straight coming up. Let's see if the Aston Martin's able to stick to the back of that V-carb. The V-carb obviously on the... Ooh, as the Aston Martin goes off the track and takes a trip to the gravel and loses out on another position. Drops down to P6. Further back, we have the 2 McLarens swapping positions as T-Bop takes the position ahead of his teammate NTO. And further back, Black Charizard and Bundes obviously getting damaged on lap 1. He's going to have to come in for a new front wing. And Mike also, I believe, getting damaged. So both of them coming in to make their pit stops on this lap 1. As Dark is really hunting down Font now. And Mopsy further back, these 3. All 3 of them very, very close to each other. As again, Font just gets a bit squirrely coming out of that corner. Now up the hill. We'll see if they're able to follow close. DRS obviously enabled on lap 2, as was the 2024 regulations. Ooh, it looks like the Red Bull got a little bit wide there. Hopefully didn't pick up a warning. Font getting it slowed down nicely for that hairpin. Again, the rear end of that Ferrari just looking a bit unstable. And the pressure is really piling on from the back as Dark now within 2/10 of Font. And we'll take a look to see if he's able to survive this straight or not. As it looks like Mopsy also getting really close. Swen setting the fastest lap of the race so far. Mopsy within 1/10 of Dark. Dark, however, going for a move down the inside, and Mopsy might try his luck as well. Oh, there's a bit of contact. It looks like Font just tapped the back of that Alfa Romeo, whatever the kick car, the green one. The stake kick. I'm just gonna call it an Alfa Romeo because that's all I remember it. And Font now maybe in a bit of trouble. Already been passed by 1 car, and he has the Red Bull very close behind him as well. Again, getting out of shape coming out of that corner. That's not going to do his tires any good. Swen on those mediums, already with the lead train. As, oh, he takes a trip through the gravel as well, and that's gonna hurt him. As, oh, further back, Fancy goes even wider in the gravel in sympathy, trying to fucking catch up to him and just about misses it. As, oh, it looks like, oh, there's another bit of a spin as Fancy just gets out of shape and loses out the position to Meliv in the Aston Martin. Wow, wow, wow. I think I've used up my quota of F-bombs that I'm allowed to say. I'm sorry, it's been a while since I've been in the booth. I'm not quite used to not watching my language, as we have Mopsy going down the inside of Font. Font tries to stick it around the outside. Let's see who has the better grip. As, oh, there's a better contact, and the Red Bull barges his way through on Font and moves himself up into P2. 1.3 seconds behind the lead car, and now he has a job to do to get back into that DRS. Otherwise, he's just going to be giving the people behind a better opportunity to pass him. As T-Bot picks up a time penalty. Take a look at what that is for. It's a 3-second track limit penalty, so you don't want to get too many warnings, as Mike Sands has crashed out, and I believe we have our first safety car of the race, which spices things up now, because do the soft runners come in? Oh, as we have another spinner, and it's the Red Bull of Mopsy, and he's stuck in the gravel. I didn't quite see what happened there. He might have just spun out and lost the position on his own, or maybe there was a bit of contact. Might have to look that one back to try and figure it out, but wow, 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 wow. Big trauma under the safety car, and it's only lap 4. It's nice because it gives the people in the back, like Bundes, an opportunity. Oh, there's very nearly contact between Font, who slowed down. And Swen picks up a 10-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. I don't think I've ever seen that one before. T-Bob also picks up a 10-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. I remember it being 5. So yeah, Fancy and Font, the only two that decided to stay out. And Bundes as well, of course, because he pitted very early for those hard tires. However, he's not yet made it to the pit lane. I think it would be a wise decision for him to swap off of those and slap on a set of mediums. At least that is what I would do in this situation. And yeah, it appears that's what he's doing. So, Fancy leads from Font. Both of them decide to stay out on 4-lap-old soft tires. Swen in 3rd place, followed by Dark. Both of those guys are on the hards. Meliv and Mopsy, P5, P6 respectively. Both of them on the medium tires, followed by NTO on the hards, Black Charizard on the softs, T-Bop on the mediums, and Bundes rounds off the top 10 also on the mediums. But Swen obviously picking up that 10-second time penalty, that's going to be a very big disadvantage for him. Not sure if he's going to be able to, put much of an impact on the guys in front unless we are dealing with another safety car situation. And Font is completely ghosted. He might be paused, which is not allowed because the AI tends to act a little bit irrationally or erratically. But alas, it is a social race as, oh, Font and Fancy both deciding to go into the pits. Not sure if that was a conscious decision from Font to dive into the pits at the very last second right there, but regardless, it's the decision the AI has made for him. Oh, and Font had actually disconnected. And now he's back. He's going to be very surprised to see his car coming out of the pit lane down in P6 all the way from the front of the grid. As Dark, I believe... No, it's Fancy stayed out. Fancy has indeed stayed out. My apologies. Fancy stays out on those soft tires, which is going to put him at a very big disadvantage as well, because everybody else further behind on the mediums, on the hards, everybody's looking to get to the end of this race, other than maybe Black Charizard. Taking those soft to the ends is going to be a tall order, but hopefully they're able to learn from this first race and adapt for the second one a little bit better. But yeah, I mean, I'm kind of nervous sitting here commentating. It's been so long, and like, I don't know. It definitely feels right to bring F1 back to ALR. Um, Despite the fact that the numbers tonight are not as good as we had anticipated, we only managed to get 11 drivers in the grid on time. But you know, that happens. Sometimes people have some issues with the game that they can't control, and it's out of their control. We can't blame the drivers for that. And sometimes, as it looks like, has Fancy gone yet? No, I don't think he's gone. He's going to wait till the safety car comes back into the pits. As he has still not gone, and he goes full gas, and he has gone. He has not really caught Dark off guard, as he went a little bit too late in my opinion, but he's draining that battery trying to maintain the lead as Dark is hunting him down, getting closer and closer in that slipstream, but just decides to stay behind. It looks like there was a bit of contact between that kick Sauber and the Mercedes, as there is a 3-second time penalty for Fancy for track limit violations, and that's not going to help him at all in his hunt to win this race. Further back, we have Black Charizard and T-Bob battling it out, and T-Bob gets squarely on the grass on the inside, and he loses out. Drops all the way down to P8, as Bundes and Mopsy are all the way at the back. I wonder if Bundes was able to catch up, as Font is now trying to put some pressure on Black Charizard in the kick Sauber as they go up the hill. Font practically pushing Black Charizard around the track as they make their way up and left through the uphill. Left-hander is now, he looks for a move down the inside. It looks like Black Charizard is going for it on NTO. Takes the position, and Font as well, opportunistic, takes the move, capitalizes on that overtake from Black Charizard, and both of them getting the move done on the McLaren as we have a yellow flag. I believe that is for Mopsy, who has retired from the race. DRS now enabled on lap 8. As now we can see Swen very, very close behind the McLaren of NTO. Will he be able to make a move into turn 1? He won't, just sits back for a little bit. Again, bit of contact as we have a yellow flag in sector 1. I wonder what that is for. It looks like Swen is going to try his luck down the inside, practically alongside the McLaren. He's going to go for it, and he's ahead before they even go on the brakes. Swen picks up another position up into P6. I believe Font might have disconnected again, just judging by the way he's driving. Looks like AI driving. Further back, T-Bop also getting the move done on his teammate. Dark very close to the race leader now, within 5/10, and DRS has been enabled, so he'll be looking to put some good pressure on him as well. As they head through the hairpin, and Fancy maintains the lead for one more DRS zone. Right, so they're rounding the final corner. It looks like Fancy has gone into the pits. So it will be Dark who stays out in front. Black Charizard getting past... Actually, that is just Fancy's car dropping through the order because he went to the pits. Right, so the race kind of mellowing out at this point. Looks like there's quite a big gap between P2 and P3. However, the Aston Martin of Meliv is still putting pressure on Dark. Dark on that hard set of tires, Meliv on the mediums. It's going to be interesting to see if he's able to get past or not. Font's AI is really putting some pressure on Swen, as it looks like Font has finally joined back. Skipping through time a little bit there. Possibly netcode related, just a little bit. So, Swen, close behind Black Charizard, 4/10. Let's see if he's able to put a dent in that gap along the straight. He has, I believe, more battery, way more battery than Black Charizard in front. Even though he's on the weaker tires, he's going to be able to get alongside and pass Black Charizard before they even go onto the brakes. So, Swen the Man taking the podium position away from Black Charizard into turn 1. Now he has 3 seconds to catch up to Meliv in order to put himself in a better position for this race. So, 7/10 is the gap between them. So now we get back onto the back straight. Of trying to close the gap with that DRS, manages to get it within 0.2 of a second, but just not quite close enough. Maybe the dirty air through the final few corners proving to be a bit too much for the Aston Martin. Yeah, the gap's looking pretty big at the moment. Swen not really putting that much of a difference between him and the leader's lap times. Looks like he's not been able to catch up in the way that I expected him to. And Black Charizard just seems to be, despite having the better tire, he just seems to be losing out. So I don't know, it kind of depends on how long you're able to take those tires, as we have a crash further back. It looks like T-Bop has gone into the wall as he tries to recover. This might be another safety car, unless he's able to recover in time, which it seems like he is, so I'm going to avoid a safety car for that. But he is going to have to go into the pits for a new front wing, because that car is not going to be too drivable, not going to be feeling too good at the moment. As further ahead, we have Meliv and Dark Kiki going at it, and it looks like Meliv has tried to move down the inside and gotten the position off of Dark. Takes the lead, but Dark is going to want to try and fight this back, possibly look for a move towards the inside, but no, he's not close enough, and he's going to have to settle behind in second place. As, it looks like the Aston Martin getting a bit squirrely, covers off the inside, but Dark's going to try and swoop around the outside. The Aston Martin has none of that, leaves him no space, and these two are really going at it, but that... there's a lot of contact between the two, and they've crashed. It looks like the front wing of Dark has come off, and I'm not sure if Meliv has taken any damage, but this has put Swen all over the back of them. And now Swen going to be looking to try and capitalize on the mistakes of the guys in front. Dark is definitely going to have to come into the pits to get his car serviced. Meliv might be able to continue on. I can't see any damage to that car, so I believe he will be taking the lead of this race. So now we wait to see if Dark comes into the pits, and I don't think he has. He's decided to stay out, and that's costing him. He can barely keep the car on track through the final corner, and that's put Swen all over the back of him. So we can see the McLaren of, I believe, T-Bop getting out of the way nicely after coming into the pits. Dark somehow, with half a front wing, managing to hold on to that P2 position as Fancy picks up another 3-second time penalty for track limit violations. Swen is getting close, but not quite close enough yet to make the move. He might have to wait until the next DRS zone. As now we follow Dark uphill. Swen getting all over the back of him. Gets wide again. That might have cost him another warning. He's using his DRS to try and close the gap, and this has put everybody back into play here. We have Black Charizard, Font, and NTO might be a little bit too far back, but we have this top 5, all of them within 3 seconds of each other. And all the while that Swen is stuck behind this Kick Sauber Meliv is running away with this race, and Swen is not going to have any of that anymore. He tries the move down the inside, uses some of his battery, DRS open for him as well, and he does get the move done before the braking zone. Now all he has to do is catch up 1.2 seconds to the Aston Martin in front. As now we have Font going for a double move on both of the kick sabers, and he gets it done on both Black Charizard and Dark. And that was an amazing double overtake by the Spaniard at his own home Grand Prix. Very impressive from him. It seems like Dark was just costing his own teammate a bit of time there. He really should have come into the pits. GT stream died. Okay. Well, yeah, you might have to ask Ross about that one. Right, so, Black Charizard on those 9-lap-old soft tires. I don't know if he's going to be able to hold on towards the end of the race. We only have 3 laps left at the end of this one. This T-Bot has got another 3-second time penalty as further back Dark going off track again as a result of him not having a front wing. Swen very close behind the race leader now, within 2/10. So he managed to close the gap using DRS, but not quite close enough to make the pass on Meliv. Yeah, he's going to be putting the pressure on that Aston Martin. It's going to be very impressive if Swen does manage to pick up this win, obviously coming from all the way at the back of the grid, qualified last. It's been a decent race for him so far. I'm not too sure that Dark will be very happy about the contact made with Meliv, but a move in that corner, it's kind of inevitable to come together as, oh, Swen looks like he just tapped Meliv and Meliv spins out! And Swen, that was a push to pass if I have ever seen one. Looks like he just went into the rear end of Meliv there and cost him the position. Somehow he manages to stay in P2, but he will not be very happy about that as Dark somehow getting the position on Font as Font goes off the track and into the wall. No front wing on that Ferrari, somehow avoids getting his car shattered into a million pieces. And it's all happening here on lap 16. So we have another yellow flag in Sector 1. It's like Black Charizard is the closest one to the guy in front. Meliv not really able to gain any time back on Swen. Swen obviously tapping the back of him at that hairpin at the end of the straight in Sector 2. But yeah, I would not be a very happy man if I was Meliv right now. Font is learning from me. Good, yeah. I think he took a bit too much inspiration from me, Mike. You might have to have a word with him, tell him to, you know, cool it down a little bit. So, oh, it looks like Meliv getting out of shape once again through that hairpin. Black Charizard not really able to make too much of an impression on him though. Despite the Aston Martin getting a bit squirrely there, he still lost about half a second through that final sector. And if he keeps that up, he's not going to be able to get the move done. So further back, we have NTO and Font going at it. Looks like Font has not come in to change his front wing. That's a bold move, but I respect it. It is the final lap of the race, so if he's lucky, he might be able to keep Bundes behind, but he's going to need a lot of defensive driving, maybe learn a bit from Sergio Perez here to keep that guy behind him, as already we can see Bundes is all over the back of him, and yeah, without a front wing, there's just not much of a fight that you can put up, and Fancy is also going to be able to get through quite easily. Font's going to drop all the way back down to P8, which is where he probably would have ended up anyway if he had changed his front wing. But yeah, we wait to see if Fancy is able to make an impression on Bundes. And as I say that, I believe I should skip over to the race leader, Swen the Men, as he rounds the last couple of corners. He went all the way from last on the grid to first. As he comes around, is he going to let Meliv through to take the race win? Yes, he is! The sportsmanship on display from Swen the Men. He lets him through to get the race win after taking him out. That is very respectful from Swen. We love to see that. Meliv comes home in P1, which he rightly deserves to win the race. Swen comes home in P2, Black Charizard and Dark P3 and P4, NTO in P5, Bundes P6. And yeah, I mean, for a first race, that was pretty eventful. I'm glad we've seen stuff like that in the social race. Hopefully everybody can kind of get it out of their system and maybe cool down a little bit by the time the actual season rolls around. Because my god, I don't know what I've just witnessed. Right, so that's race 1 done and dusted, and now we have race 2 to worry about, which I believe I should start working on, possibly getting somebody else in who might have missed out on the first race. You guys can watch the podium celebration with no audio as Mr. ALR admin over here tries to freaking work some stuff out. Quite the waiting screen here. Okay, I have no idea what that screen was, but so right, so we might be combining the two lobbies together since we have lobby A and lobby B, and that way I might be able to hop on a call with Pyro, and we can figure out some dual comms action. Right, so if that's the case, then I believe I'll have to add Pyro and get him to send me an invite. Which I will do very quick. Win a race, please. It's a great EA name, by the way. Right, so I will be inviting everybody else to a separate lobby. Join up on here. So apparently accepting an invite does not do anything on F125. That is very good to know for future reference. Accept this one. Right, so since we are merging the lobbies, if anybody is still here with me, I believe that you guys should go watch the stream for lobby A as we will be merging the two lobbies, and Pyro will be able to commentate over both races. So yeah. I'm gonna be ending the stream over here. Thanks, guys. Whoever stuck with me, whoever watched the first race with me, and y'all can head over to the lobby A stream if you guys want to continue watching for the second race. I will see you guys very soon.